Off grid with Michigan Prepared here. I'm making this video because last night while I was at work, uh, I had a really scary thing happen to me, and I took stuff for granted, and it showed me just how unprepared I really am. Um, so yesterday, I got to work. Everything started out, as you guys know, I'm a truck driver. Everything started out great. Everything fell into place. It was a good day until I left my first stop. Even leaving my first stop, it was flawless. I was having such a great day, and then all of a sudden, literally once I got to the middle of nowhere, a message came across my dashboard in my semi. I can't remember word for word exactly what it said, but it was a battery icon on the dead center screen of my semi that said something about it was shutting down luxury items or something, comfort items, to save power. And I'm like, huh? I've never seen that message before. I've been driving for quite a few years, guys. I've never had my semi try to reserve power. And so I called a buddy of mine who used to be a diesel mechanic, and I asked him, what the hell does this mean? And, I kind of feel like an idiot for this, but I did not know how to find how many volts my semi was putting out, or how many volts the alternator was putting out. And he talked me through it, because the menu to get to it is kind of funky. But I found it, and I about pooped my pants. My semi was only putting out 11.8 volts. It's supposed to be anywhere between 14.2 and 14.6 volts. Now, with that being said, if you guys are from Michigan, you know the type of weather we're having right now. The only safe place I could think to stop was my second stop, which was in Harrison, Michigan, which is an hour and a half north of my first stop. But when my alternator started going bad, I was halfway in between. I literally had nowhere to stop. Safely, anyway. I mean, I could have stopped anywhere. But that time of day that I was out, and the location I was in, I had nowhere to stop safely to protect myself. And I had made a video last year of me packing a warm weather bag for my truck, for my semi, in case of an emergency. I had a heater in there, some boots, some extra thick wool socks, a jumpsuit, and some other stuff. Well, and this is the reason for me making this video, guys. I got complacent this year. Didn't care. Wasn't even really thinking about it. And I didn't have that with me. Well, I found out around 8:30 p.m. that my truck was losing charge. And it stayed at 11.8 volts for the longest time. So I thought maybe it was just a fluke in the computer system, because these newer trucks have all sort of things that go haywire. Like when you first turn the ignition on, if something doesn't work right, you turn the key off, you open the door, you let the computer go to sleep, and then you close the door, you turn the key back on, you let it recycle, do its thing, wake back up, and usually it'll be good. Whatever fault that you had will typically go away. These newer trucks just have so many hiccups and headaches, it's not even funny. So I thought maybe that was what was going on. However, the fact that it was like negative 13, negative 14 with a wind chill of negative 27, I was terrified to shut my truck off. So I stopped in Harrison, Michigan. Keep in mind, I had nothing with me. No heater, nothing. Just the jacket that I had on. Thankfully, I did have this sweater in my truck, which has got, it's a hunting sweater. I don't know if I can pull it out here. It's somewhere. I'll have to dig it out. But it's got a built-in face mask, which is nice. That helped out big time last night. Anyway, guys, so I get to so I call my manager, my dispatcher, and I let her know what's going on. And thankfully, she talked me into sitting still in Harrison because I was almost going to try to finish out my route with 11.8 volts. But she talked me into it. I sat still in Harrison, Michigan, and it was negative 27 wind chill up there. She had called the mechanic about 8:45, 9 p.m. to meet me in Harrison. And it took him 4 hours to get to me. So he didn't show up until like 1 a.m. And by the time he showed up, my truck was only reading 11.3 volts. Now, I'm not too certain on when these trucks shut off, but the mechanic had told me if it would have dropped another 0.1 volts, it probably would have shut down. So at 11.2 volts, it would have shut down automatically to protect itself, protection mode, some BS that they got built into them now. And I was at 11.3 volts in negative 27 degree weather at 1 a.m. with nowhere to go. The reason why I sat in Harrison is because that's one of my delivery spots. I actually have a key to the door up there, to his garage door, so I can deliver stuff and close it back up, lock up, and leave. But his garage is kept at the very minimum, just above freezing temperature, so he keeps it at like 35 degrees in the winter. He doesn't put out much heat, but it's better than negative 27, so that's where I stayed. That was the safest place I could find to stop. Everything else was closed. All the stores, and there's no truck stops up there. There's really nothing. So I sat there for 4 hours just watching my voltage on my dash tick down, from 11.8 to 11.7, 11.6, 11.5, 11.4, 11.3. And as I was watching those numbers tick down, I just kept getting more and more scared. I'm like, man, if this truck shuts off, I'm gonna be an icicle. The point of this video, guys, is you need to test yourself. Situations like this, look what the Midwest is going through right now. Negative 60 degree temperatures, massive snow. How prepared are you guys really? What sort of protections do you guys have in your vehicle? Do you guys have a buddy heater? Do you guys have blankets? Do you guys have candles or warm weather gear? The point of this video, and the whole reason I'm making it, guys, is because I was scared to death last night. I don't scare easily. I was scared. I thought I was at least, at the bare minimum, going to come out with severe frostbite, if not dead. Because I wasn't sure, because originally when the mechanic called me, he says, I'm not sure if we can find an alternator for that truck. And thankfully he found one. It wasn't the right one. He had to rewire it and make it work, but it's working. Now I don't know if the company's going to come out and fix it properly, put the right alternator on there. He says I should have no issues with this one. It should last forever. Well, not forever, but because nothing lasts forever. But he's like, it should be just as good as new. Other than the wiring being a little different, it bolted right in. The belt runs it. It's charging properly. But I was scared to death. I did not think that I was going to make it home last night. And B, like I said, at the very minimum, I thought I was going to come out with severe frostbite, if not dead. And again, I don't scare easily. But I felt the need to make this video and share with you guys the importance of having stuff in your vehicle. It might be a pain in the ass to carry something with you all the time. You know, if you don't want to leave it in your vehicle, it might be a pain in the ass. But that couple seconds of being a pain in the ass could save your life. Now, with that being said, I am gonna try to find a small propane heater. I have a Mr. Buddy heater. That I had taken with me last year, but the problem with that is the cab is the semi, being that it's a day cab, is so small that I don't really have a place to put the heater that won't catch something on fire. It's too tight in there. So I need a different form of a heater. The Mr. Buddy heater, it's either going to burn the headliner or the seat next to me or the dashboard. It puts out that much heat even on low. And granted, yes, I want something that puts out a lot of heat, but I want a more of a directional heater, you know what I'm saying? Like that I can aim to where it's not hitting anything that's going to catch fire or burn. But today's Saturday at 1:22 p.m. and by the time I go back to work Monday, I'm gonna have a bag together. I'm not playing around. The importance, guys, of having something to keep you warm, especially in weather like we're having right now, is just... I got complacent. I preach, you know, being prepared to you guys, and here I am, just totally unprepared. And I guess it takes situations like this to really wake you up and let you know just what you're facing and just how unprepared you really are. So again, guys, I want you to triple check, whatever, and make sure you have stuff in your vehicle. Candles, flashlights, blankets, extra socks, extremely warm boots, jackets, if you can, some form of heater, guys. Maybe an extra car battery. I don't know. Whatever you guys feel is necessary. But I would get it and I would have it. Last night for me was pure hell. And it kind of hit me hard because, again, I'm not one to scare easily. But when I stepped out of my truck and my mustache froze instantly, and negative 27-degree wind chills. The actual temp, I think, was negative 14. I'll post a screenshot if I haven't already. But the feels like temperature was negative 27. And I can't remember the last time Michigan's been that cold. Somebody remind me if you're from Michigan. I was trying to look it up, but Google's an idiot. Giving me a bunch of information I didn't want. So guys, until this weather breaks, make sure you have what you need. And also in the summer, water is important. You know, if you break down and you're under the beating sun, and who knows what the hell is going to happen. The weather's, the last couple of years has changed drastically. doing some crazy shit I've never seen before, and I'm 44 years old. The importance of being prepared really, really hit me hard last night, and it's got me reevaluating a lot of things. Thankfully, the mechanic got there in time. Thankfully, he actually found an alternator. Thankfully, he was able to get me up and running. Don't take things for granted, guys. When you think you got enough, get more. Do more. The next person that looks in my semi is going to think I'm a psychopath, because there's going to be blankets, there's going to be heaters, there's probably going to be a pillow. Hell, at the very least, if I don't use the pillow to take a nap on while I'm waiting for rescue, you can use it for insulation. Rip the pillow apart and stuff the stuffing, you know what I mean, like around you. Create just like insulation in your walls. It creates an air gap. It keeps the heat in. You know what I mean? Anyway, guys, I'm going to quit rambling. Truly reevaluate what you bring with you on a daily basis. Do not leave your house for a second thinking, oh, I'll just be right back, it'll be fine. No. That's when most people get hurt. Again, I was in a big brand new semi. I'm thinking, everything's going to be fine. Ain't nothing going to ever happen to me. And then last night, reality hit me. And it hit me with a ton of bricks. Or like a ton of bricks. Don't take it for granted, guys. Make sure you truly are prepared and you have what you need to keep you warm. If you think it's enough, I suggest, in this weather right now, today even, go sit in your vehicle. Don't start your vehicle. Go sit in your vehicle with your bag and see if what you have in there is enough to sustain you. Even for an hour, guys. Just sit out there watching YouTube on your phone for an hour without the vehicle running and see if the supplies that you have in there are enough to keep you warm and keep you alive. Plan on 5, 6, 7 hours being stranded in your vehicle, guys, especially if you're like me and you were out in the middle of nowhere. I thank God my manager asked me to stop and wait on a mechanic, because I was just going to keep going. And I was going to chance it. And I've just been on the phone with her all day, just thanking her so much for making me stop. That truck would have most definitely broken down, and had I left Harrison and continued north, the path that I got to take to get to my third stop, guys, there's nothing for 2 hours. Nothing. A couple houses. But in today's day and age, who's going to wake up at 10, 11 o'clock at night and open their door to some stranger, especially long-haired, ugly mug like mine, and allow me to come in and keep warm until rescue gets to my truck? Probably very slim. Test yourself, guys. Make sure you have what you need. Anyway, with that being said, I love y'all. Keep your heads on a swivel. Till next time, Off Grid with Michigan Prepared is out.